Richie, thank you so much for welcoming us into your home.
Jason, that's what it's for.
I feel like this is the proper LA life that I'm properly sampling now.
Well, I don't know. We're not. In a lot of ways, we're not very LA. We're sitting drinking tea.
Well, you're gonna say I wasn't expecting it to be. Your accent to still be so dub when I came in. You're here for 20 years, and you still feel like you haven't lost that element of yourself.
I don't know if you truly ever lose that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I think people can guise it, but you are who you are.
Obviously, when you won the Academy Awards, which we can't ignore, is just sitting right in front of us. Everybody was talking about the fact that obviously you came from Ballyfermot, and there was a big kind of thing for that. So you went straight from Ballyfermot over to LA.
There was a bunch of people came over at the same time, and then the lads who stayed home ended up opening Brown Bag, Cavalier, Jam Media.
Why do you think it is, though, that the Irish did so well kind of out of that generation of animators?
We were starved of good, I think starved of good opportunities, so there was a build-up of talent. And then when it did happen, there was just a moment where there was a collective sharing of knowledge.
And you came over here as a 2D animator.
2D. I'd still like to have a bit of a wrist, but I'm not. I'm not nearly as proficient on the illustration side as I used to be. But as an animator, your job is to communicate.
Yeah.
So as a filmmaker, your job is to communicate. It's the very first thing you should question everything. And for any kids who are thinking about getting into it, it isn't about being able to draw necessarily. It's not being able to use a computer. It's about really being able to communicate.
What was the first project then that you kind of kicked off when you got here?
For me, the big transition was when we moved in. Warner Brothers opened the studio, right, as Disney were building up. I was switching to 3D, or the opportunity was there, and we made a movie called The Iron Giant.
Yeah.
And that, in a lot of ways,
incredible. Like, I mean,
I
really enjoyed it.
It opened doors, and like that, awards are great,
Yeah.
but the work speaks. It's not about necessarily what you achieve or what you muddle through. It's when you plan for it and you execute well, and it gets up on screen, and people get what you meant.
Yeah.
That's
where the achievement is. That's where
the goal.
Yeah.
When people tell you they get a kick out Gollum, or they
say, because you mentioned, of course, Lord of the Rings there, when you were making that, and when as a team you were putting together, of course, Gollum and his image and all that sort of stuff, how big he was going to be as a character in terms of cinema, but also how big the movies were going to be.
To be honest, I made the decision based on nostalgia, about reading the books as kids, kind of my ma being aware of it, that stuff. So I made that choice, best choice in a lot of ways I ever made, because it was an opportunity to really have a character that acted. When
people do think of cinema over the last 15 years in terms of two momentous moments in visual effects, you've got to think Gollum, and you have to think Avatar. How did you go about creating that world?
I know, again, it was an opportunity to take what we'd done on a single character and apply it to a movie, and not a movie, really a world. The idea that you could tell aside from the battle stuff, a love story, to try emotionally connect with the audience on that level. The fact that people feel like they went somewhere, the fact that if people felt that it was transformative, I'll put my hand up and say I think that was our biggest win.
And was that your biggest win, really? Is this not your biggest win right here?
It's a lovely pat on the back, but the truth is that there's a huge amount of teamwork behind that. Your
name is first on the list, though.
There was 4 of us up there, but the real value of a prize like this is to be able to share it. You know what I mean? You have other people from team members being able to take it home, take it to their families' houses. That's the stuff you get tickled on.
What do they think of it?
They go around calling all trophies. When they get a trophy for hockey, their littlest fella, he was like, "Look, I got an Oscar."
And when do you commence, I guess, on the next Avatar, or is that just?
That's ongoing.
Really?
We're full on in development cycles.
And is James Cameron, of course, is he very involved right now, still, like, on a day-to-day kind of level?
Of course, Jim is the ultimate, in filmmakers and that world creation. He likes to be involved at every step. So yes, he is mired in a multitude of tasks, but he is very much focused on what we're doing.
Well, we cannot wait to see them. Thank you so much for having a chat, welcoming us into your home, and give me the best cup of tea I've had since I've been in LA.
You're welcome.
Seriously. Cheers, dude.